Greetings, YouTube Nation. So, I am using the same phone that I did when my tablet was on the blink, because right now on my workbench, I have a Windows 10 all-in-one computer that I got from the hotel's IT guy, because I'm going to see if it could be have Windows 11 installed on it, or if I'm just going to put a straight full-on Linux Mint install on it. We'll see. But from my good friend Mark Conca at Sunrise Trail Hobbies, I have another locomotive. So, Mark has been running Sunrise Trail Hobbies for quite some time now, at least a couple of years. I kind of stumbled upon the shop when looking for model railroad stores on Long Island, and there was a video that I had posted a while back about the hobby shop deserts. Depending on your locality, depending on your situation, you could find yourself in a situation that the nearest hobby shop is nowhere to be found, if not several miles away. And if you are in that situation where it's several miles for the nearest hobby shop, then your only resort would be train shows, swap meets, and online purveyors, be it social media or eBay. But Mark's a good guy. I am going to post a larger picture of this business card so that you could see it for yourself. He also maintains an eBay store. If you are unable to venture to the store in person, I've been to the shop twice. It's a small shop. Not many people can fit inside it. It's just him running the show. He's there, I would say, 2 days that that store is open to the public for, I would say, 2 days of the week, and not that many hours for each day. Anytime that I've been scheduled off on a Saturday, the shop is open on Saturday. But I've picked up an Athearn Jeep 9 from him in Canadian National livery. I've also picked up a Pennsylvania Erie built and a Pennsylvania Sea Liner, both both from the Lifelike Proto line. And next door is a model railroad club, but the name of the club slips my mind right now. But next door is a test track that, if you want to try out a locomotive that catches your attention, that test track is available at his disposal and at the customer's disposal. So on his eBay shop, it was available as an auction. It wasn't a buy it now or best offer. This beautiful ER models, Alco FA1 in New Haven McGinnis livery, and It's on the side of the box. It says "Made in Brazil" by Frateschi. So while it is sold under the ER Models brand, this thing is a Frateschi. So I'm going to open up this box and let you see closer up. And I've already opened up the box, and being ever so careful, here she is. And bonus, there is the paperwork, because when I went to look on hoseeker.net, paperwork, the documentation wasn't there. The only ER models that I've only come into contact with are the ones that are built by Roco of Austria, and those are fun to maintain. And here is the paperwork. I am going to make a larger picture of this for all to share. That way, if anyone has a Frateschi ER Alco FA1, you'll be able to, screenshot it and then take a picture for yourself. Mark said it was operating in wonderful condition. I am eager to see how this thing is, how you can get into the shell if I need to, because I'm going to take this to, because I am going to take this girl to the layout, see how well she runs. If I need to service her, I am going to cautiously take this girl out of the box. And here she is. She's got knuckle couplers on each end. And on the bottom, you'll see Frateschi, made in Brazil. Yeah, I have to say it that way, because it's fun that way. And working in hotels, I've dealt with many South Americans, and that's how they say it, Brazil. All right, let's take her to the track. Be right back. All right, folks. So I've got her on the endurance main line. Power pack is on, forward position, and let's do 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, and we've got forward motion. 30%. You silly phone. And now, let's go backwards. 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%. Uh-oh. Seems that the pin, or I guess what you would call the brake hose part of the coupler, is catching onto the rail. Alright. It looks like the housing is a little bit loosey-goosey. Front part seems secure, so let's crack her open. See what's inside. Be right back. Alright, so it seems to be a very straightforward assembly. There's a side notch here, side notch here. Front coupler would slide through here. Nothing that I would have to do to dismount the coupler in order to remove the shell. So in we go on this side and on this side, and oh, there goes that rear weight. And we're in. So this is the rear weight right over here, and already I could see that it's a loose bolt, which I'm hoping that I could tighten up. All right. God willing, that was all that it needed. I am inside. So we have a dual flywheel motor. Not exactly sure what the make of it is. Could be it could, for all things considered, be a Mabuchi motor. But where's your light? Is there a light? Headlight post. So, is there a light? There could be. There you are. Oh, this one is loose too. Alright. So we have wipers on each side, a printed circuit board that goes directly. This is a nice construction. While I am inside, I am going to lubricate the shafts. Here, 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 here. There are wipers on each side of the locomotive. I'm not going to dislodge the trucks. It seems rudimentary enough that you just have to take a screwdriver and just undo the housing. If only there was a way that you, may have to research how to dislodge the housing in order to get into the trucks and give whatever lubrication that it may need. But there is a PCB that goes from goes right down to the wipers, and it seems that this brown wire on the conductor side, the fireman side, this is what gives negative. Black wire on the engineer side is its positive, and red and black is for the headlight. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? But now that I got now according to the paperwork, these are the motor mount screws. I don't need to dislodge the motor. There's no need. So I'm just going to lubricate this thing off camera, and then put her onto the test track to see how she is. Be right back. Okay, so with the couplers sorted out, and they are quite level with my height gauge. It's back on the track. The shell is just absolutely clean, and this little fella must have hardly got any runtime, because when I clean the wipers, there's just barely any trace. So anyways, so I have the power pack on in the forward direction, and we're gonna go forward and reverse, and we've got and the air hose of the rear coupler is not catching on the track. The light is working. I'm gonna keep the light. I'm not gonna LED her. So moving at 10% throttle, impeccable, and backwards again at 10% throttle. Alright, I'm satisfied so far. So Let's put the shell back on. The shell is just absolutely pristine. Mark, when he listed, he said it was a custom paint job. But the box says New Haven, so it was done at the factory. So let's put the shell back on and get it back to the track. Hold on. All right, so we are back at the layout. And I've got the power pack on. We are going to go 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%. Look at that crawl. All right, now backwards. 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, impressive. Let's take it back a bit further, because now that we know that this thing is running, moving backwards and forwards properly without catching onto the tracks itself. And you didn't see that. Since the coupler is not catching onto the rails of the track, I'm gonna let this thing stretch her legs, because Lord knows how long it has been since the previous owner had run it. For all that we know, this may have never seen the light of day of the previous owner's land. They may have just bought it for the sake of buying it, never did anything with it. We don't know that, but let's let her stretch her legs, shall we? On your marks, get set, go. 30, 35, 40, and I'm sure you see the light. And off it goes. All right, it's about to complete its first lap. And as you will see, hold on one moment. We are barely at 40% throttle. The current draw is just magnificent. We are... If I'm reading this right, it's 9 volts. It's not even at the 10 mark. Is it at the 10 mark? Could be 9. But, the voltage is just phenomenal. And it just successfully completed another lap. So, I am going to increase the throttle to 45. So now the throttle's at 45. Current draw went up slightly, but not that all much. But the voltage, it's under 12. So I'm gonna let this little fella run, and then we'll hook some cars up to her, see how well she pulls. Be right back. Well, she just completed her first lap with a short consist. Yeah, it is a mixed train because these coaches do have the McHenry horn hook couplers, and the RF&P is a transition car because there's a KD on one end and a horn hook on the other end. So, but you know, there were such things as mixed trains back in the day. And I'm just going to take you over to the throttle as it completes its second lap. Gotta get that beauty shot in. Hold on. So we are at between 40 to 45% throttle. Current draw is very decent, and we are running at 10 volts. This is quite impressive. Look at that thing go. Well, I am a very happy camper. She runs remarkable. I wish her rear coupler assembly would be a little bit better, but I did manage to sort that out, and she's pulling remarkably. I do have Athearn passenger cars that kind of match the same paint job as the Locomotive, but it's only two cars, just a passenger car and the observation car. I would really love to find more passenger cars painted in that same scheme, and then I'll run a whole consist with, with the matching paint scheme. But since these River Rossi heavyweights are somewhat within the McGinnis theme, that's fine. So, with that being said, I'd like to thank you for your continued support. And for those who are not already a subscriber, there is a link in the bottom right-hand corner. Please help me reach and surpass the 325 subscriber milestone. I will greatly appreciate it. Please like the video, please share the video, and as always, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.